Now to a follow-up to a WFAA investigation tonight. We told you about a fertilizer that is made of human waste. It was suspected of killing livestock and making people sick. As crime and justice reporter Rebecca Lopez learned, there is a fight east of Dallas now to keep it out of another community.
Ranchers and farmers are fighting to stop what is about to happen on this property in Van Zandt County.
How would you feel if this was in your backyard?
The owner of these more than 200 acres has filed for a permit from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to spread biosolids, also called sewage sludge, on his land. It's fertilizer made from human waste that comes from wastewater treatment plants across the state.
This chemical is toxic and there's no way around it.
These giant piles.
As WFAA has previously reported, biosolids can contain high levels of chemicals called PFAS, or forever chemicals, that scientists say are carcinogenic. Earlier this year, we told you about Johnson County ranchers who say their land is contaminated and their livestock and fish are dying after a neighbor put biosolid fertilizer on his property. At a contentious meeting in Canton, citizens are trying to stop a landowner from spreading biosolids made by another company on his property about 30 minutes outside the city.
I stand with the ranchers, the farmers, the homeowners, and the people in this room and ask you to deny this permit on the basis of all forever chemicals are toxic and is not needed in rural Texas.
TCEQ was at the meeting along with a representative from Denali. That's the company that makes the human waste fertilizer to be used in Van Zandt County.
What staff have done is looked at everything that exists at the federal level and the state level, and the applicant has met all of those burdens and obligations.
Proponents of biosolid fertilizers say it's safe, but at least one state, Maine, has banned its use.
It all sounds pretty bad.
Residents at the meeting demanded to know why biosolids are allowed to be used as fertilizer in Texas.
We all can sit here, we know it's dangerous.
The TCEQ representative said their hands are tied because under current Texas regulations, they don't have the capacity to test for PFAS. They say they are waiting for new EPA guidelines that are expected later this year.
The issue becomes, for the state, they have to have a policy that they can apply to every single permittee how to do that. And right now, it's not clear how best to come up with that strategy.
According to TCEQ, there are more than 40 sites in Texas where companies like Denali and others have been allowed to sell or sometimes give biosolids away to landowners to use.
We are being paid by the generators of the residuals to haul it away and spread it, but we're not paying. And he's not paying us to receive it, and we're not paying him.
Citizens demanded the permit be placed on hold until the EPA releases its guidelines on biosolids, since the companies can't guarantee that toxic chemicals from the biosolids won't end up on nearby properties, creeks, and in waterways.
Just outside of town here, less than 10 miles, there's a big aquifer under the ground where many of these people's wells probably get their water from. You can't guarantee that aquifer will not be poisoned by this stuff you're going to put on the ground. And as a lifelong Texan, I found that appalling.
Well, I can't guarantee anything ever because I'm not the one doing the applications. We have operations folks that do that, but it's always our intent to, and with the oversight of TCEQ, to follow the regulations.
TCEQ said at the meeting that unless the Van Zandt County landowner withdraws his request, he will likely be granted a permit to spread the biosolid fertilizer. In Van Zandt County, I'm Rebecca Lopez.
Okay, so the landowner was not at that meeting, but we did talk to him afterward, and he said because of all the backlash, he is now planning to withdraw the permit. WFAA, though, is continuing to investigate other locations where biosolids fertilizer is still being used.